You know that feeling when you give and give and give, and somewhere along the way you start wondering, where's mine? Where's the version of me that gets to sit down, that gets to say no once in a while without feeling like a terrible person for it? Because here's the thing nobody actually warns you about when you're the nice one in every room. It's not free. It feels free. It feels noble even, but it's not free. There's a bill, and most of us don't notice it until we're already running on fumes. Marcus Aurelius used to write himself these little morning notes, reminding himself that today he'd probably run into someone ungrateful, someone rude, someone who'd take without ever really seeing him. He wasn't doing that to become cynical. He did it so none of it would catch him off guard. And honestly, that's kind of what we're getting into today. Not stop being kind, never that. Kindness isn't the enemy here. But there's a version of kindness that quietly eats a person alive. And I want to walk through what that actually looks like, plus a few things the old Stoics genuinely did to protect themselves from it. Alright, let's get into it. First thing, and it sneaks up on you. You start expecting people to respond the way you would. Say you help a coworker finish something at 11 at night. No complaints, no credit taken, you just do it. And somewhere in the back of your mind, quietly, you assume they do the same for you. Except they might not. Not because they're bad people, just because they're not you and they never agreed to be. Epictetus was almost blunt about this. He basically said, stop handing the universe an invoice for your good deeds, because it was never going to pay it the way you expect. Your job was the giving part. What they do with it afterward, that was honestly never yours to control in the first place. Second thing, and this one stings a little if I'm being real, people stop asking you for things and just start expecting them. There's a difference there, a real one. The first time you cover a shift for a friend, that's a favor. That's generosity. By the 10th time, it's assumed. Nobody even thanks you anymore, they just tell you what they need and walk off. You become the person who always says yes, so eventually people stop treating yes like a gift and start treating it like a given. And the Stoics actually talked about this a surprising amount, moderation specifically. Not because giving itself is wrong, but because giving without any limit quietly teaches people they never have to build their own strength. If you always catch them before they fall, they never learn what falling even feels like. That's not kindness anymore, not really. That's just enabling wearing a nicer outfit. Third, and honestly, this might be the one that lands closest to home for some of you. Your own life quietly gets pushed to the back burner without you even noticing it happen. I've met people who are, on the outside, incredibly generous, almost impressively so. But if you sit them down and ask what they actually want, what they need for themselves, they kind of just go blank, like the question doesn't compute. And here's the uncomfortable part. Sometimes overgiving isn't really about the other person at all. Sometimes it's just easier to fix somebody else's mess than to sit alone with your own unfinished thoughts. Silence can get loud, weirdly loud, when nobody's around demanding anything from you. So service becomes this convenient little escape hatch, and the Stoics would have called that avoiding your own growth, just dressed up to look like generosity towards someone else. Fourth thing, and I promise this isn't as harsh as it sounds out loud, being endlessly agreeable can actually make people respect you less, not more. Because real strength, in the Stoic sense at least, was never about how much weight you could quietly carry for other people without complaint. It was self-command. And when you never push back, never draw a single edge anywhere, people stop reading that as peaceful. They start reading it as available. Endlessly, permanently available, like a service that never closes. But the second you start saying no, calmly, without a whole apology tour attached to it, something shifts almost instantly. People recalibrate how they see you, sometimes within days. Fifth one, and this is a little uncomfortable to even say out loud, you start noticing you're only ever invited when someone needs something done. Not to dinner, not just to hang out and talk about nothing, only when there's a task quietly attached to your name somewhere. That stings, not going to pretend otherwise. But step back for a second and look at it plainly. Most people don't casually invite their unpaid assistant to come relax with them on a Sunday. They invite friends, actual equals, people they don't need anything from. So, if that's what's happening to you lately, it's not proof that you're unlikable. It might just mean somewhere along the way you accidentally trained the people around you to see you as useful before they see you as close. Sixth, and this is where it gets a bit more philosophical, so bear with me. The Stoics genuinely believed your internal state kind of broadcasts itself outward, almost like a frequency. When you're depleted, running out empty, giving from a place of exhaustion instead of actual abundance, you tend to attract more of exactly that. More people who need, and need again. Not because the universe is out to punish you for being kind, nothing that dramatic, but because burnt-out energy and needy energy just tend to find each other, almost magnetically. Balance attracts balance. Depletion, unfortunately, attracts more depletion. Here's a seventh one worth sitting with for a moment. Constantly overextending yourself can quietly push you towards something you start using just to numb it all. Could be food, could be endlessly scrolling your phone at midnight, whatever the particular escape happens to be for you personally. Gently, the Stoics were oddly practical about even this. They said plainly, if someone who genuinely loves you points out a pattern like this, don't get defensive about it, just actually listen for once. That discomfort you feel when someone calls it out, that's usually coming from a place of protection, not attack, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. And an eighth thing, kind of a strange one. Being genuinely, consistently kind can actually make people suspicious of you. Sounds backwards, I know, but real, no-strings kindness is rare enough now that when people run into it, some part of them starts looking for the catch. What do they actually want? What's the angle here? And that's less a reflection of you, honestly, and more a reflection of how rare it's become to just give without an agenda quietly attached underneath. Okay, so that's the damage giving too much can quietly, slowly do to a person over time. Now, what did the Stoics actually suggest doing about all of it? Number 1. Just listen to how you actually feel after helping someone, not how you think you're supposed to feel about it. If you constantly walk away feeling drained, resentful, or somehow invisible even after doing something good, that's information. That's your own body telling you something your mind keeps talking over. Number 2, and I know this one's easier said than done, practice saying no without a 10-paragraph apology stapled to the end of it. You don't owe anyone a whole essay explaining your limits to them. "I can't this time" is already a complete sentence, believe it or not. Number 3, protect a small pocket of time that belongs to nobody but you. Doesn't have to be big at all. 20 minutes with your coffee before the rest of the world starts asking things of you again. That's not selfish, whatever anyone tells you. Marcus Aurelius apparently did some version of that every single morning before people even got the chance to annoy him yet. And a fourth one, learn to spot the people who only show up when they need something and quietly stop chasing their approval. Not out of spite, just out of self-respect. You don't need to prove your worth to someone who only remembers you exist when it's convenient for them. The Stoics never once said don't be kind. They said don't be kind at the total cost of yourself. Because generosity without any real boundary around it isn't virtue anymore. It's just quiet self-erasure dressed up nicely. The goal was never to become cold or guarded, just whole enough that giving doesn't leave you completely empty afterward. If any part of this made you think twice about your own habit of overgiving, even a little bit, that's honestly exactly why I keep making these videos. So hit subscribe. It's Mindset Archives, and I'll catch you in the next one.